Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Odd Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today we are making a shaker card, and I just thought, why should kids be the only people that get shaker cards? So this is kind of an adult version. Some of the beads that I'm using are a little bit too big, but they're okay. So this is using the Petal Promenade Suite, and it's using one of the frames that comes in the paper pack. It's got the copper on the back. It is on page, as ever, I forgot to check. It's in the annual catalogue, and it's on page. Petal Promenade is on page 106. It is gorgeous. It's one of the suites that I thought I wasn't going to like, and then I went to a team event and we used it, and I loved it, and then I used it with my recent team event, and I'm just in love with it. I haven't yet got the stamp set. I may get the stamp set, I haven't decided yet. So yes, anyway, it's gorgeous. I love, and it's photorealistic. I just love it. So I thought I would show you how to make this. It's just a little 3x3. It just manages to get into one of our 3x3 envelopes. It's a tight fit, but it is possible. I've had this in and out, so it is possible. I'm not going to, you know, make a big thing out of getting it in and out, but it does fit. And I've stamped on the inside, and I've used the Get It While You Can August only blended seasons stamp set. This is a limited edition. It's only, as I say, available during August. The details are all over on my blog, so do, you know, think about that. I've made a number of projects with this already. I haven't yet done a Christmas one. I must do a Christmas one. It comes with an optional bundle of the stitched season framelets. I've said this before. The only die that goes actually with, as in you use with the stamp set, is the one for the bell. Everything else is independent. So if you like the dies, particularly these stitched labels, which are to die for, pardon the pun, but I mean really. So this is the die. And it cuts, I think I've got, oh, I have, it's snuck on my table. So this is, I layered, and I don't know if you can see, I have got autofocus on. Can you see the stitching on both sides? So it stitches on both the inside and the outside edge of the cut. They're gorgeous, so they can be used independently of the stamp set. There's also a small set of watercolour pencils, which you can get as well. These may come either as a set or individually in future publications, future catalogues. I can certainly tell you they are not in the autumn-winter, but they may appear in other catalogues. Anyhow, let's get on with this project, because we're already nearly 4 minutes into the video. It's only a small project, but you know, we do still need to get it going. So the first thing I thought I would do, only so that it's got a chance to finish drying properly, is show you how I made these shaker elements, because these are basically free. I wanted something that wasn't sequins, and the only thing we've got that isn't sequins at the moment, that is a sort of shaker element, are these lovely tranquil textured sprinkles. And I wanted this sort of effect, but obviously those don't go. And short of sitting and trying to pick them out, you know, the ones that do, I've got a life. So what I've used, and this is not an original idea, I think it was Dina Rico over at the Creativity Cave who gave me the idea first. These are the beads that you get, you know, those little packets that you get with some handbags and those sort of things where it says silica gel don't eat, as if you would. That's what these are. Now, not all of them come out this kind of clear effect. Some of them are charcoal rather than silica, but the silica ones are what I've been using. So I thought I would show you how I've made them. I've got some more ready to go, but I thought I would just show you how to make them. These are using, well, I'll show you. So first things first, I've got a pot that I've been using to make them in. This is an old embossing powder pot. I'm going to make some in this orangey colour, which is Grapefruit Grove. So I've got some Grapefruit Grove re-inker, and I'm just going to put one reasonable, whoops, and a bit, spot of re-inker in there. And then I'm not going to use too many, well, famous last word. The plan is to not use too many because I've already got some. Just tip some into there. So tip some of your silica gel from one pot to another, and then give it a good old shake. And they absorb the liquid, which is pretty snazzy. So what I've got here is some Grapefruit Grove already. Let's do this off here somewhere. Some fresh fig and some Highland heather. Let's just pop those in. And then you can just wipe that out with a piece of kitchen paper. So yeah, and I thought they were quite a nice mix to go with the Petal Promenade papers, because they are colours that are in the paper. So how to make it? It's really quite easy. There is some fussy cutting. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me fussy cut the whole thing, but here's one of the frames. I haven't cut it down. I would have cut it down first, but all I did was just cut it round. They are 3 inches square, by the way, which is why I've gone for a 3-inch square card. All I do is carefully, so as not to pierce yourself, I cut across into each of the corners and then roughly cut out those bits, so that you've at least got a hole, because otherwise you're trying to work into a very small space. So just cut those, that centre bit out. And then all I did was, with my paper snips, just start somewhere and then just work round. And I tend to move the paper rather than the scissors. All I do with the scissors is kind of open and close them, but the actual movement round what I'm cutting, I do by moving the paper, not the scissors. So I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. So that's all I've done to get this. Then a piece of window sheet, which is slightly smaller than 3 inches square. I mean, it's 2 15/16, 2 7/8, that sort of measurement, 2 7/8 apparently, square. I've also got a piece of Whisper White that is 2 7/8, and then I've got a piece of fresh fig that is 6 by 3, and I've scored it in the middle. So that's all we need. So to put the whole thing together, I've got some tear and tape and a ruler. And the only reason I've got the ruler is I'm going to just lay the tear and tape along the edge of the back of my piece, and then I use the ruler just to tear the end off. It gets a nice straight tear. I have somewhere, and I don't know where it is, got a metal ruler, which is my preferred tool, but this will do, it's working. It was a gift from a friend who when that's very tight on that piece there, but it's fine. When I was at On Stage Live in Amsterdam in April last year, one of the prize patrols was the Fabulous Flamingo. Is it Fabulous Flamingo? Sure, it's the Fabulous Flamingo, which is what I won. Now, don't get me wrong, I was very grateful for having won it. However, there was another set that I was hoping to have got that I didn't get. So I wasn't grumpy as such. I just would have rather have had the other one, which was the Patty Bennett $1 Million Achiever set, which is the Ribbon of Courage. And the reason that I wanted that in particular, stuck to that, is because she made that to honour her mother, who had been a breast cancer sufferer. And as I am a breast cancer survivor, long may that continue, I kind of wanted that set. That's the only reason that I was not 100% happy with my flamingos. But as a result, I've got this reputation for not liking flamingos. I have no problem with flamingos. So all I'm doing is sticking my window sheet to the back of my cutout piece while I'm waffling. So I have no issue with flamingos. I'm quite fond of flamingos, but I've now got this reputation that I don't like flamingos. So one of my friends has given me a flamingo ruler and a flamingo pencil sharpener and rubber and pencils and, you know, the whole works, because she spotted them and she thought it would be amusing for me to have them. And they're lovely and I love them because I actually have no issue with flamingos. The flamingo stamp set is not my absolute favourite set, although ironically, because everybody thinks I don't like flamingos, I'm using it a lot to show that I can use it. So it is one of those strange things. Anyway, that's the story of my flamingo ruler. So this is the double-sided adhesive strip, which is made really specifically for shaker cards. I mean, you can use it for other things as well. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting a diagonal end and then making sure that I butt that as close as possible to the previous one. It's not vital because we've only got fairly large items that we're going to use as shakers, but it's a habit that's worth getting into. See, that one's not quite the right angle, but it's fine. So all I'm doing is just popping it down the edge and then at the corner cutting it at an angle, and then eventually you end up with the right angle for each of your corners. See, again, that's not brilliant, but it's fine. If we were using glitter, I would make sure that these were absolutely sealed, but we're not, so it's not vital. So that's that. Right, we need to stick our designer series paper onto the front of our card. I'm not going to fold the card yet because it's easier to put everything together with the shaker bit with it flat. So some multi-purpose liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to scribble on the back. Designer series paper obviously is not as thick as card, but so long as you only use a small amount of the liquid adhesive, I think that way, it's fine. It's not gonna crinkle your paper, and because we're layering over it, it's really not an issue. So you then want to kind of decide which way you want your frame. I actually quite I think I'll go that way. Doesn't really matter, actually. Right, so where are my pieces? So get some pieces and just drop them in. You need a reasonable number because you're going to cover this bit at the back. I've just realised that previously I put the frame that way around, but that's fine. So you can put the frame round the edge of your designer series paper rather than round the edge of your window sheet, but it's fine. Either way works. So pull these off. This is my bottom. Pull these pieces off. If they don't play, then just get your piercing tool and or you'll take a pick. Right, so this is where it would have been better had I done it the other way up, but we're going to be fine. So long as I line up the corners, because I know that the designer series paper that I fussy cut is 3 inches square, and my card is 3 inches square, so long as I line up my corner, we're going to be fine. There we go. And then we can flip it over and we're fine. But what you may want to do is put your adhesive strip onto the card and then put that on top. It's probably a better idea. And there's our shaker. So we can now fold that and then just get our bone folder, and we're pushing onto adhesive strip, but it's fine, it still gets a nice crisp edge. And if you want to come in just with the very tip, you can do that. So then we have our piece for the inlay. I am using, as I say, the Blended Seasons. I'm using Wishing You All the Best because it's a nice general sentiment. And I'm going to use Fresh Fig because the card is in Fresh Fig and it goes with the Designer Series paper. I've mounted this on my D block. It's huge, you don't need a D block, but it happened to be the one that I had lying around. And this is square on the block. So long as my paper is square, which I can line up on my grid paper, then I should be able to, famous last words, stamp that, yay, square. So that's that. So let's find the one we haven't got a sentiment in already. And again, I'm just going to scribble on here and just make sure that I've got the edges, and then pop that in there and press it all down. And there we have our 2 shaker cards. So I think they are really fun, and as I say, why should children be the only people that get to have the fun of a shaker card? They stand nicely, so the weight of the shaker element is fine. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Remember that those silica beads, I have to say that's this was quite a collection of silica beads. So it has taken me a while to get them all together, but if you save them all, it's brilliant. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you need any of the cat hair, if you need any of the products, I've listed them in my blog post, which is linked immediately below here. But if you want to shop with me generally, there's a link also below which takes you to all my social media links, including my shop, my online store. If you spend £45 or a multiple thereof during August, remember you get bonus days vouchers. So for every £45 you spend in any one order, you get a £4.50 voucher emailed to you that you can spend in September. And remember that we've got the Autumn Winter catalogue launching on the 5th of September, so you can use it on products from there. And also for every £30 you spend at my online store and use the host code, you get a sunflower voucher, and when you have 10 sunflower vouchers, you get to spend £30 free. So you get to have £30 worth of products, which I will order and get out to you. I will obviously let you know when you're getting to that point, so you can let me know what you want. So do remember that if you are after any ink, now is a brilliant time to get it because we've got all our lovely new ink pads. So it's also a great way, if you're there or thereabouts on an order, to get to a multiple of 45. It's a great way of getting to 45 because they're only £7. So if you're at £40, put an ink pad in and you've got your £45. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, it's the bottom right hand corner. All the information is over on my blog post, just linked immediately below, and I hope to see you again very soon.